Welcome to another episode of the Para Cave podcast. And now over to your host, Troy Warner, broadcasting live from the world-famous Para Cave.
What about other teams as a Tigers fan? Who is that one or two teams that you see the draw come out every year and you just want to beat them? Who are the biggest rivals for you besides Parramatta?
Besides Para? Good question. I mean, probably the Bunnies and the Roosters.
Yeah.
Probably more the Bunnies actually than the Roosters. And whenever for some reason, us and the Bunnies always have the tightest games. Like it's fiery. Like I remember Latrell knocked someone out one game a couple of years ago and didn't get sent off for it. And probably the Bunnies first, after the Para Bunnies, and then Roosters. You just want to beat the Roosters. This is our year to just thump the Roosters and get payback. Yeah. And I'm sure Rick would agree, is to get one over the Roosters because
yes,
he hates them.
Yes, he does, certainly. And yes, he definitely loved them being smacked the other day by the Broncos. That is for sure.
But a good watch.
Yes, it certainly was. What about a favourite piece of Tigers memorabilia that you may own? What is that one thing that you love, Tigers-wise?
Well, the jersey I own actually won in a competition. Another jersey I won, which was in 1998, our 90th season as Balmain. I actually won a competition the week before. We were playing West. Funnily enough, we were playing West. We beat them 28-0, and they called out my name at half time. And they're like, your competition was you're going to kick off for the Tigers the next week.
Okay.
So I turned up the next week, 13-year-old, full kit, jersey, got in the change room. Ciro smacked me on the back to go jump on the field, passed the ball to Ellery Hanley. So that jersey I've still got.
Yeah.
And who else did I? Who was someone else in the opposition? Oh, was it? Maybe it was Paul Langnack. I think it was someone. He said something to me on the halfway line. That was quite nice. But yeah, no, that memory definitely has a lot of sentimental value. And for my 21st, I got the 2001 West Tigers, some sort of cards, in a frame.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which would be worth about $10. But it's I still got it. I don't even know when we finished that, but I can't imagine it was pretty high that season. But yeah, that's the only memorabilia I really have.
Yeah, nice. What about an autograph? What's the favourite autograph that you've got?
I mean, I don't have them anymore, but I remember going into the change rooms. Who was it? Our soccer team. My coach. When I was playing soccer, his son had a contact through someone at school, so we went into the change room after training one week, and just got the full team. When you had your autograph book back in the day, autograph book, coloured paper inside.
That's right.
You're just walking around, a bunch of nude men after the showering asking for an autograph. So I don't know where that book is, to be honest, but yeah, that's probably that would be my memory from getting signatures.
Nice. That's something we don't see these days, is it? The old autograph book. The selfie's taken over now, hasn't it?
The selfie, yeah, I know. Bring back the autograph.
Yeah. These days, if you want an autograph, it's usually on a card, and they usually sell it then, don't they? They don't generally keep it. Which is a shame. But let's get to the Tigers of 2025. There's been a few changes there this season. Obviously, you must be happy about those. Jerome Luai, the most notable one there. First of all, the new players that have come, which one are you most excited to see, and how do you think the Tigers are going to go in 2025?
I mean, obviously, most excited to see was Jerome, just because he plays halfback, and to see how he does playing halfback. Obviously, did really well for Penrith when Cleary was out last year. The combination between him and Galvin, I'm hoping becomes a good one. Didn't really pay off on the weekend. They weren't great, to be honest. But I think another player that actually made a big difference was Terrell May. He's that big sort of like just enforcer prop who just got great footwork.
Definitely.
He got an offload. He ran for like over 170 meters. So he's I think as equal as big a signing as Jerome, just for like our forward pack, getting our forward pack going, moving forward. And then Skelton actually not surprised me, but he had an absolute blinder on the weekend. The winger.
Yeah.
And we've never actually had a big, like since Tuiaki in 2011, who was an absolute gun. We haven't really had like a big sort of winger that bring it back and get that meters, kick return meters. So all of those three players are really crucial in how we will be playing differently this season. Yeah.
And where do you think the Tigers will finish up this season? Obviously, the last 3 years have been no good. The only way is up.
Yeah, like as much as I'd like to say we're going to make the 8, I just can't. I can't see it happening. Like if we get to anywhere above 12th, like that'd be a pretty good season, I think, for us. And it would probably save Benji's job. He's the one I'm most concerned about.
You think he's under pressure?
I mean, I don't think he feels the pressure because I think Richo hasn't put the pressure on him. But you can tell in the media, and he probably doesn't read it, but like the media is just constantly waiting for us to just, fail and then just pile on. So yeah, we really need to get some wins in the bag for him. If we stay injury free, we could, who knows, we might just gel and become a decent team and be like, St. George from last year where they're kind of like sniffing around the 8 but didn't quite make it.
Not 9th, I hope.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take 9th. If someone says at the start of the season, you're going to finish 9th and not make the 8, I'll be like, you know what? I'll take that.
Yeah, no, I guess that's a bit of a running joke, isn't it, with the Tigers and finishing 9th? The amount of times that they have in the past.
Yeah. Just got to win one more game and we'll make, packed crowd at Leichhardt. Just got to beat Canberra. Just got to beat Cronulla and we get pumped by 50 and you're like, what the fuck?
Is there a player from over the years that if you had an open checkbook, you would have loved to have signed to come and play for the Tigers?
Good question. Probably, I'm thinking someone like, Thurston, someone like that. I think he's probably one of the, or Greg Inglis.
Okay, yeah.
One of those two. You see how much Greg Inglis made a difference to South when he went there. So he may have kicked us into gear. Who knows? We lacked a lot of class back in those days. So. Yeah, GI definitely. GI and probably Thurston.
Okay, yeah, no, two great names there. I was just about to think of something. I was going to ask you, how did you, as a Tigers fan, how did you get through the Ivan Cleary stage when he was coach of the Tigers, and how do you see him now having won those premierships? Do you think what could have been or not really?
He would not have won that with us. I don't think so. I don't like how we all call him Judas Cleary. I mean, the way he kind of left was a bit, it was a bit of a dog act. I understand he wanted to play with his son, coach his son. Sorry, he could play with his son. Who knows? But coach his son. But the way he left was the thing that really hurt the most. And he left us with all these shit players on big contracts for 4 years and just screwed our salary cap for 4 years. That was the thing that really annoyed me the most.
And just as a fan of a club, I mean, myself, I've gone through it with Parramatta as well. And the Tigers, they've been noted to go through lots of dramas off the field. As a fan, how does that make you feel when your club is always in the news for off-field things?
It's tough. And no, to be honest, it's like it's been so tough. Like teams like Melbourne, Bruce, like so many teams just have no idea of especially when you're like a die-hard fan and you take everything so personal and to heart. And we've just been dragged through the mud for so long, like 10 years of not making the finals. And like, not only that hurts, but the fact that you're like, the board, this, and, your CEOs, making the wrong decisions, and, the whole like Pascoe Hadjimentelis era. And then, currently, what are they called? Can't think of the name, escapes me, of the owners of the club. They're having some bloody court battles and stuff at the moment. But the one positive is that they've now separated that.
Okay.
We now have an independent board with Barry O'Farrell, now the CEO, and independent people we voted in. That's completely football related, football department. It's got nothing to do with the Holmes-Barn Group. So it's completely separate from that. So they can just, if they want to keep on bickering and do that in the background, that's fine. But you're not going to affect anything that's happening, any decisions for Richo or the coach or anything. It's completely separate. So I'm pretty confident. And you can tell since Richo's taken over, there's been, that, funnily enough, less like rumors and less things going to public.
Okay. Yeah.
Hadjimentelis having dinner with bloody Buzz Rothfield at Grappa, just telling him everything about what's going on, all that sort of crap. That's all seems to have dried up, which is good.
One thing that apparently, I think, allegedly, that Shane Richardson has said is that he doesn't want the Tigers to go to Vegas as part of the rugby league carnival that we've seen over the last couple of years. As a Tigers fan, what are your thoughts on that one?
I don't, I don't actually really care. I don't care because we've got more important things than that. I'd rather go to Vegas when we're actually like a decent team, or like we're on the up, or, in 3 years' time, we're like, oh my God, the Tigers have made the finals 2 years in a row.
Okay.
And then now they're going to Vegas. And I think we've got it's meant to be, they say it's a distraction for the team to go to Vegas. So the last thing we need is that. We just need to focus on winning games. So I really don't care.
Yeah, no, that's a fair enough way to look at it, and probably a good way to look at it. Actually, as you said, concentrate on making finals first, and going from there. It could also be a distraction as well. Is there a ground that you really want to get to and watch the Tigers play that you haven't been to before?
Yes, definitely Allianz, and we're playing Manly in round 24 there this year, which I think is some sort of Sydney Indigenous Magic Round or something like that.
Okay.
I think you guys are playing there on the Friday. We play on the Saturday or the Sunday, and someone else plays on the Bunnies play on another day.
Yeah.
So that will be a good weekend, and hopefully we stuff Manly at Allianz. Would be awesome.
Yes, I've only been there once as well.
Fantastic round.
Yeah, went to the old Sydney Football Stadium a few times. Went there for I think it was the Nissan. No, that was Parramatta Nissan Sevens. Would have been the Coca-Cola Sevens, World Sevens that they used to have there. Yep.
Fun fact: reigning Sevens champions still to this day, the Tigers.
That's right. You can beat us.
Yeah. Did we?
I'm pretty sure. You beat us.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, that last year, but I'm pretty sure you beat us. What about coaches over the years? Who have been your favourite coaches at Balmain or West Tigers?
God, we've gone through a few of them. Sheensy, obviously, for that period, to take the young team that he did from like 2003, and we just became this like superstar, like this gun side. We played this like ad lib football, fast pace, like we're just electric. It was great to watch. And then obviously we had a bit of a dip, but then came back again in 2010, 2011. So those probably Sheensy because of that. Every other Tigers coach around Sheens, none. I can't say any of them have been any good. I felt sorry for Madge, to be honest. He tried his heart out, but probably didn't get the support that he probably deserved. And then for what Balmain coaches, there was Wayne Pearce, Tigers coach. Definitely not Alan Jones. Warren Ryan. Warren Ryan.
Walk.
Yeah, Walk. Yeah, so it'd be Warren Ryan and Tim Sheens, who are pretty, pretty good company.
Again, if you could sign any coach to come coach at the Tigers, who would that be? Who would be the ultimate coach for the Tigers to transform them into a top 4 consistent team and maybe even a premiership?
Yeah, I mean, probably Bellamy, definitely Bellamy, but I'm going to eliminate Bellamy because I think Bellamy's is just like, he's just a freak. I wouldn't say Bennett because I think he's at the end of his tether. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, they're the obvious ones.
Well, you nearly got Bellamy way back in.
We nearly got Bellamy. Yeah, we nearly got Bellamy. He almost went to Canberra or something as well. We probably bottled the deal, no doubt. Our management would have bottled the deal. I think there's some good young coaches coming through that are showing a lot of potential. Like Chiraldo seems to be, doing good things with defence for the Dogs and stuff. So for a young coach, maybe Chiraldo.
And I forgot to ask you at the start, did you ever play rugby league as a youngster?
No, okay. I didn't. I played soccer. I mean, we played at school, tackle footy at lunchtime.
Yeah.
But I played soccer growing up the whole schooling career.
Yeah. Nice. What's the best part about doing a podcast? What's the most fun thing? Your line through pod. Give it a plug.
I think I said earlier. Just like catching up with like Rick and Gonzo once a week, and just like just taking the piss and having a bit of fun. That's obviously good, and also taking the piss out of like players and teams and journos, and it's just a good laugh. It's a fun hour every Sunday.
That's it. Well, speaking of you, co-host, how does it go when the Tigers play Parramatta? Is there lots of banter between you three?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I think we kind of take it's a weird I think we kind of take it easy on each other because we know how much it hurts and we know how bad we can be and just the struggles we've had. You kind of you stick with solidarity with even though we're rivals, you kind of you feel sorry for each other because we've been so bad. I mean, and if we win, I generally don't really rub it in. I don't really go for the jugular because I know that the other person's hurting. So no banter during the week.
That would have been fun last year with Spoon Bowl last year. That would have been a fun time for you.
That actually was fun. Spoon Bowl was great. I loved it.
But one of the things I love about your podcast is when you go through you predict the winners each week. And you come up with the 10 words or less
10 words or less
scenarios.
Yeah. Sometimes they come to you, and sometimes they don't, and you really have to work on them. I mean, after this week, Gonzo just pulled him out of his ass, and I lost. So, but yeah, that's I actually enjoy doing that.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a funny way to look at it. So, yeah, as I said before, check it out, Line Through Pod, and give them a follow, give them a listen, and you'll see what we're talking about. That is for sure. Some quick questions here. There's what I call a set of 6. Do you have a favourite sport outside of rugby league?
Favourite sport outside rugby league? Probably soccer, Premier League. I lived in London for 10 years. Watched so much Premier League while I was there. It's such a good competition. And then, I mean, I like cricket in the summer. But probably Premier League.
Who's your team in the Premier League?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, okay. I don't know much about Premier League. I have heard
Let's
of
just
Crystal
say
Palace.
that they never do anything. I actually went to the FA Cup semi-final. We made the FA Cup semi-final a couple of years before I left, and that was at Wembley, and that was insane, packed.
Yeah.
It was unreal. But no, there hasn't been success from memory, like for me, ever. But I don't think it really matters. Just go to the games and have a drink and hopefully get the win on the day.
I've actually got a pommy mate who's a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and I can't really remember exactly how long ago it was, but I'm thinking it would have been about 15 years ago, easy. We made a bet. We made a $10 bet at the time that Tottenham would have to win the FA Cup. And then I'd give him $10. But then if Parramatta ended up winning the NRL, it'd nil and void. But if Tottenham didn't win the FA Cup, Parramatta won, he'd owe me $10. Unfortunately, nobody has won anything. So Tottenham hasn't won the FA Cup, Parramatta hasn't won the NRL.
No.
I've lost count about how much we probably are up to. It's probably up to $200, $300 probably, something like that.
Yeah, so this is a long-standing, like, just the bet just rolls on.
Well, yeah, but we don't even know exactly what figure it is, to be honest. But yeah, that's it. What would be the one unique thing people don't know about Pero?
Good question. I don't know. I'm a keen golfer. I don't know, golf. Just taken up surfing actually.
Okay.
But I guess more. Keen musician. No, not musician. I love going to gigs and stuff. Go to festivals, gigs, and I'm trying to start an actual. Currently, I'm about to go to Shanghai to look for sock manufacturers. So everyone, keep an eye out. There's going to be some sort of socks coming out as a side hustle.
Okay.
So yeah, watch this space. I'll keep you informed.
No worries. That sounds good for sure. Which we'll say former players. Do you think you wouldn't want to be on a deserted island with?
Former players?
From the Tigers.
Oh, from the Tigers?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be on... maybe... Probably Benny Elias. Because it'd just be a pain in the ass. You know what? I was going to say Terry Hill, but I think Terry Hill would actually be a bit of a laugh if R.I.P. Terry Hill.
Yeah, definitely.
No, actually, he would be good. He'd be good value. Probably Hopewadi. He's an absolute moron. Craig Field. Like, these are the real obvious ones. Yeah, that's probably it.
No, fair enough. You're hosting a dinner party. What's your specialty dish that you're going to cook for 3 people?
I always like my favorite dish is chicken schnitzel. I do a good chicken
Oh,
schnitzel.
nice.
So it's chicken schnitzel mash and a pepperonato. It's like an Italian dish, like a veggie dish.
Yeah, okay. Very nice, very nice. Love a good chicken schnitzel. That is for sure. Usually with a bit of ham and cheese on the top, and
Oh yeah, you're a palm. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
not much traditional. Just give me salt, pepper, and lemon. That's enough for me.
Now, which three people were you going to invite to this dinner party, either dead or alive, that you haven't met before?
Um, okay, I'd definitely someone like either Chris Cornell or someone like Keith. What's his name? Keith Urban, Kurt Cobain, maybe. Um, I'm gonna have to throw a female in there as well. Um, someone funny. Uh, God, I'll come back to the female. Male, definitely Conan O'Brien
Okay, yeah.
because he's just hilarious. Um, actually, maybe you know what? I'll say Conan O'Brien and his co-starter Jordan Schlansky, they do a podcast together and they're just hilarious. So that would be just like the most entertaining dinner. So yeah,
Nice.
those three.
Good answers. And you mentioned there that you're into your music. Who is your favourite musician or band to listen to?
Currently, a band called Fontaines DC, an Irish band. Saw them on the Opera House steps last week.
Okay.
They're like one of the biggest rock bands in the world currently. Um, but I like all sorts of music from like I listen to electronic music, um, and then old bands, kind of like Pearl Jam and stuff like that. Um, so that grungy sort of era, yeah.
Nice, nice. What's your favourite Pearl Jam song?
State of Love and Trust, probably.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, saw them actually recently at
yeah.
Homebush. They were great.
On
They were awesome.
their what was it? Was it 21
Uh,
tour? Is
no,
that
it
what
was
they?
like this year.
Yeah, is that what
Oh,
they?
last year, sorry.
Is that what they called it though?
Oh, is that what
20.
they called it?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, maybe like it was an anniversary. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. Something like that.
yeah, it was
I'm a
unreal.
yeah. I'm a Better Man favorite
Yeah,
Pearl Jam song. Um,
they,
I just
I
love
mean,
that.
they've got about 15 greats. 15 just hits to play those straight live. So many
Yeah,
good hits.
that's it. It's just got that line in the song. She loved him. She needs him. That's why she'll be back again.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just love those three
yeah,
lines. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a classic. It's
Yeah, he's
classic.
a genius, Eddie.
That's it. Well, Pero, thank you very much for joining me on the Paracay podcast today as part of the Fans and Members series. Some great
You're
Tigers
welcome.
memories there, both Balmain and West Tigers.
I scraped enough memories together. They are there.
Yeah, nah, it's always good going back and trying to remember those and go through them. And it's part of the good thing that why I like to talk to other fans of other clubs as well, because it brings back memories for myself as well, growing up watching
Sure.
rugby league. And no, it's been really good. And look, I'm sure we'll encounter each other either this weekend or Easter Monday, perhaps, maybe throughout the
Yep,
season.
yep,
So,
yep, for
thank you very
sure.
much for coming on the podcast
My
today.
number. Yeah, no worries, mate. Thanks for having me, Troy.
How you
Hey,
going,
bruh.
mate? Are you a Paracay podcast listener?
I am, bro. It's a
Okay.
great podcast. Everyone tune in. Bro.
Go Para.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Paracave Podcast. See you next time.